So let's try to understand herd immunity. We'll draw these little circles. Oh, hang on, just lost connection. Okay, says I'm back. Okay, here we go. So we'll draw these little circles, and I'll give a code. So let's say that if we see a white circle, that means someone who is not vaccinated and not infected. Okay, so neutral. They haven't been vaccinated and they've not been infected. Let's take another one, and this could be whatever disease we imagine. And then we'll have, maybe a good colour to use would be red. And this is someone who is not vaccinated and is infected. Let's do is infected in bold. And then we're gonna have, let's do blue. So blue is someone who is vaccinated, but not infected. Okay, who got is twice there. And then we'll have maybe a green. Yeah, let's do green. That's not very noticeable. Okay, someone who is vaccinated and infected. And is infected. Okay, so let's take some of these circles and we'll sort of copy them around. Let's start off with actually just a load of people who are not vaccinated but no one's infected. Okay, or at least let's say only one person gets infected once it lets me actually draw. Oh, yeah, just a few more. Okay, I'm going to just shrink all these circles. Because I want to, I'm not going to have enough space. Okay. Alright, so that will just say we'll leave that just like that. I'll put a little rectangle around it as well, I think. Okay, so yeah, so that is they're not infected, but let's say just this one who happens to be in the middle has become infected. Of course, what's going to happen is that the ones around him nearby who interacts with him will also become infected, and then people will move around, they'll meet, oh hello, how are you doing, blah blah blah, and then these get infected too, right? So you can see how very quickly everybody gets infected. That's fairly easy to get our head around. Now we'll try a different situation then, and actually I'm going to just undo a lot of that. You can watch it in the video how it develops, but we'll save the version of it for when it's at the start. Okay. And then we'll take in a situation in which a few people are vaccinated. No, one, two, but they're not infected yet. I don't think I'm doing the same shade of blue. Okay. Now in this case, as they move around, well, he's not vaccinated, so he's going to get ill too. And they're going to move around, but also remember that the people will eventually get better and recover. So he might get ill because he's near to him, but then this one recovers, In the meantime, he wasn't able to get it. I mean, okay, actually, maybe this fourth one is unnecessary. Let's change that, because if they get infected when they're vaccinated, it doesn't really change much. All right, I think we're overcomplicating things by adding that fourth one. So they do get infected, but they recover quite quickly, and so we can say that they don't get to pass it on to anybody else. All right, and so basically, these vaccinated people, the more we have of them, the more vaccinated people we have, the more they act as kind of barriers for the disease spreading. Oops. So it's almost like putting when there's a fire spreading, and you kind of put like something in the way to stop the fire from spreading, like a lake. I don't know what you put, but something to stop the fire from spreading, or maybe a flood. Flood might be a better example. If there's water spreading out, then you put like sandbags and stuff, or you dig a trench so as the water can go somewhere else. So you're stopping. They're acting as barriers. Now the key thing to realise about this situation is that some people can't have vaccines. Some people have autoimmune deficiencies. Some sort of immunity issue where where a vaccine could be quite harmful for them, and could make them very, very ill, because their body just gets confused and thinks it's a deadly thing or whatever. And so it might be the case that these two that haven't got vaccinated are like that. And of course we have some people who don't want to get vaccinated for various reasons, and so we have to realise that there are going to be people who just won't get vaccinated, and so the more that we can more the population that we can vaccinate, the more that we can protect everybody, including people who haven't had the vaccine. Okay, and in fact, eventually, if these two people were to recover, let's say this represents the population of the entire world, if these two people were to recover before spreading it to anybody else, now that disease, that pathogen, will die out. It no longer exists. The only way a pathogen can continue to exist is if it finds somebody to infect and then multiply within them. And so this is how we have eradicated a few quite deadly viruses in the past, or nearly eradicated others. And so this is the concept of herd immunity. Okay, I'll just stop the video there.